Hello folks, welcome back. Sport Federation TV, we of course carry on talking about what's happening in the world of sport in the Western Cape, and we reach out to our provincial sport codes. And of course, as you know, it's Women's Month, and one of the administrators in sport is no stranger to, in fact, no stranger to the Cape Town area and the Western Cape area, and that's of course Shumeez Dollie from the Western Cape Cycling. Shumeez, it's great to have you on the show. How are things with you?
Well, all good. Lockdown, what can we say? We're still carrying on.
Shumeez, you've got, of course, been on the Federation show on a number of occasions. You know what it's all about. You know what talking about and promoting sport is all about. It must have been difficult with you guys for cycling over the last few months.
Well, it's been extremely difficult. It's like it's a battle in the sense of like challenges upon challenges. We have like events that's been cancelled. What do we do? We've got PDI riders that needs to go to the next level. What do we do? It's like our hands are tied, and as a federation, we can only do so much.
Yeah, yeah.
So with all of this, it's lockdown. It's a worldwide thing. So this is the new norm, and we need to look at how we're going to take the sport to the next level.
It's been interesting watching cycling, though. You guys have been participating in these online competitions on Zwift. We see you competing, local cyclists competing internationally. That has been quite exciting to watch.
Yes, that on that level, yes, well, that is fantastic. But I'm thinking about the rider that cannot afford all the equipment that goes with that.
Yeah.
So it's like a privileged few that have the opportunity to go out there and put their name out there. And then we have the rising stars from our PDI riders that don't have the equipment, that they don't have the facility. So those are the challenges we as Western Cape are facing on a daily basis, in the sense of we have riders out there that don't have equipment. How do we equip them? How do we take them to the next level? Those are things and as you know, within sport and especially with cycling, I think with all the other codes as well, we have a lack of females. So now we got a handful of females, lady riders, coming through the ranks, but they don't have the equipment. What do we do? And we're going to be losing those riders. So we need to do something in order to ensure that they stay within the system and go through the system in order to get to the levels that we want them to be.
It's of course Women's Month. A lot of folks are, of course, focusing on women's development in sport. How much of a challenge is women's development in cycling?
Well, it's a big challenge. If I can tell you, if I take, I mean, cycling, it's been like it's a physical thing, having to be on the bike, right? So now we need to get women. It's Women's Month. It's the education that we need to send out there to the young, to our young riders, regarding Women's Month, and not be able to interact and engage with them like physically. It is actually a challenge where we can't have our workshop, for instance, going out there, and this is what we want to do with our ladies, promoting our ladies in the sense. I mean, already within all the sports that we have, is that we as women, we go to an event, we pay the same flights, we pay everything exactly the same, but when it comes to prize money, there's a different prize money. And those are things, challenges and things that we are talking about with women.
So education, in your opinion, education is key here. You've been a senior administrator in sport for specifically cycling now for quite a long time. What advice have you got? I mean, you've managed to get to the top of the pile in cycling, and obviously you've faced a number of challenges along the way there. What advice have you got for women out there who want to do what you've managed to do?
Okay, number one, it wasn't easy. Being a woman of color within the sport that I'm in, I was told to my face many times, you know what, it's not. This is not for you. And I had to prove myself over and over, even to my male counterparts within the position that I'm in. It wasn't done because of I've earned my position within sport, if I can put it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
I had to prove myself. And by proving myself is by working hard and taking a stance and saying, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to be, and I'm going to work towards that. And I educated myself in the sense of, they say, like people make comments, you just swallow it, and you know what? I would stand up for what I believe in. I believe in justice. I believe in righteousness. So uh, I would I would stand up. But as I said, I've been in cycling for a long time. I and for me, I've proven myself that this is a sport for me. I was told, if you're not passionate about the sport, then you're not going to make it within the sport.
You also sound like you're saying that one can always be learning more.
Oh yes, definitely, definitely. I mean, being within cycling, not just being as an administrator, I'm also a cycling commissaire, which for track and road, which is I'm a national commissaire for Cycling South Africa,
Yeah.
and I was blessed to go abroad a few times in order to represent CSA as a commissaire at international events. So it's like a different ball game, completely different, and I've learned a lot.
We're going to leave it at that. It's great seeing you again, even though this time it's via the digital medium, yeah. and we had some challenges getting here to get you online, but you know, it's great speaking to you again. You're a role model for athletes out there. You're a role model for women's sport, and from our side, you know, we can just say thank you for all of the contribution that you've made, and we hope that there's many young ladies that will follow in your footprints.
Well, thank you, Chepi. It was wonderful being on your show, and it was like we had a battle connectivity, but yeah, it was also nice seeing you. It's been a while since we really seen each other, hey?
Yes. Well, we will keep focusing on the work that you guys are doing. We know that education, you say education is one of the key factors. And from our side, we know that exposure and publicity for your sport code and for people like yourself is what will hopefully give that boost, that people will get involved with your sport, they will assist with the education, and most importantly, they will believe in your cause.
Yes, that is something that would be fantastic if we could have people out there that's within the sport that are counselors that are able to assist with that, voluntary assisting us to take this sport to the next level, especially when we come to our women. I'm urging women that's within the sport that has the knowledge and to guide us through this, so that we can have more women coming on board as administrators and coaches and those stuff of them.
That's 100% spot on. We had, in fact, Dr. Debbie Alexander, the head of high performance at SASCOC, saying the very same thing last week. Women must support other women, and I think everybody needs to step up and contribute. But Shumeez, we'll leave it at that, and we'll say once again to you, thank you so much for joining us, and stay safe out there. Remember, practice all of the wash the hands, practice the social distancing, and of course, always wear a mask.
Yeah. Thanks, JP. Likewise. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Shumeez. There we go, folks. Shumeez Dollie, Western Cape Cycling. She has reached the top of the pile in sports administration, and there you have it firsthand. She's given you some very clear indications of how to make it. And of course, emphasizing education as one of the cornerstones of sports development, and we look forward to supporting Western Cape Cycling with as much as we can.